Welcome to the Savannah Hermitage. Today we are going to do a half an hour long yin restorative yoga session that will progressively stretch out our entire body, open up our energy field, and open up our consciousness in a very nice manner. This is a practice that you can do daily or semi-daily, and it is a very good accompaniment to a sitting meditation practice, because when we sit in meditation like we do as our core practice here at the Savannah Hermitage, we may sit in a meditative position, basically motionless for long periods of time, and sometimes we'll get some tightness in our body. And this 1.5 hour yoga practice just is a nice counterbalance to that stretches out everything and opens up our body, mind, and consciousness very nicely. So we'll go ahead and start in a standing position, our feet slightly apart, in a grounded position, and just take our arms and hands to the side and take a couple of nice, long, deep breaths. And now spread your feet out quite wide. Comfortable, but where you're feeling some stretch here in the groin muscles, not too much. And we'll just raise up the right hand and bend down to the left side like so, stretching out the right side of our bodies. And then do the same thing in the other direction. Come back up to an upright position, raise your hands high in the air, and then bend at the waist. Clear down, stretching out the lower back, and move your hands basically progressively as far back as you can, stretching out the lower back and the hamstrings. You can deepen that stretch a little bit by reaching further and straightening out your back a bit. And when that feels good, come back up into upright, hands out to the side like so, and then kind of use them to push yourself back up into a standing position, and then go ahead and sit down on your mat. Knees bent, feet together like so. And then take your left arm, hook the crook of your elbow around your right knee, and take your right hand back around your back, and then use that to twist, especially your lower back, and then twisting the whole way up your spine, and twisting your neck in that direction as well, getting a nice spinal twist from top to bottom, from bottom to top. And do the same thing going the other way. Crook of the right elbow around the left knee, left hand back around the opposite side of your back. And then when you're ready, just come out a slight counter twist the other direction and back to straight, looking straight forward. And then take your hands on the top of your feet, draw your feet up like so. Keep your fingers on the top of your feet, your elbows on your thighs, and you can use your elbows to press your thighs down a bit and deepen that stretch of the groin muscles. So this is a good stretch to just stretch out those groin muscles nicely. And with all of these stretches, with the in-breath, you can lengthen the stretch, and then with the out-breath, deepen the stretch by, in this case, just pressing down and deepening the stretch a little bit. Okay, let's come out of that and leave your right foot where it's at and stretch your left leg out. Make your back nice and straight. Lift your hands above your head and then bend at the waist and lean down and either grab the ball of your foot, or if you can't reach that far, just reach as far as you can and continue bending at the waist and stretch out the hamstring and also a bit of a stretch on the calf with that, and also stretching out your lower back a bit as you bend at the lower back. And with this one, on the in-breath, you can lengthen the stretch by basically moving your head towards your foot. That's lengthening the stretch. And then deepening the stretch with the out-breath by then moving your face a little closer to your knee. And again, you can do that with all of these stretches to deepen them a little bit more as you're doing them. So when you're ready, come out of that and then stretch out and lengthen the right leg and then tuck the left foot in. We're basically doing the same thing with the opposite leg now. So again, hands above the head, bend at the waist, grab the foot and stretch. And one more thing, if we do anything in this practice that you don't absolutely know that you can do 100% safely, then do not do it. Most of this is going to be pretty gentle. So that should be giving us a nice stretch of the hamstring especially. And just hold that for a few moments longer. It's good to hold this stretch for maybe 30 to 60 seconds, somewhere in that range, or even longer if you need a longer stretch. So go ahead and come out of that when we're ready. And now you'll kind of switch around and get on your knees on your mat like so, tops of the feet straight down. And then just put your hands in fists like this and put each fist down on the inside of the ball of your foot, and then lean back, and then just arch your back, and also just lean down where you feel a good stretch in the top of your thighs, your quadriceps. So this gives you a quadriceps stretch and also a good counter stretch, arching your spine as well. So that's good. You can put your hands out in front of you like so to bring yourself up, like so. And now we're going to take our fists down. Basically, we're on hands and knees like this. You can go with your fists, or you can go flat on your hands like this. And now we're going to do some cat-cow, which you might have heard of before, and perhaps practice if you're an experienced yoga practitioner. So the cat, of course, is arching the back up like this, arching your spine up as much as possible, and then down into cow, doing the opposite, your back swaying like an old cow, bending your spine the totally opposite direction. So let's do that again. Meow. And moo. And we're so happy about that now we're gonna shake our tails and heads from side to side a little bit, giving our spine a horizontal stretch now. All right, that's good. So now we're doing an animal theme here for a little bit. Now we're gonna go up into downward dog. So just tuck your toes under and then press, straighten the legs up into downward dog. Probably the best known yoga position ever. And now you want to feel a good stretch in your calves. So push your heels toward the mat and stretch out those calf muscles. And to do that some more, lean all your weight now on the right foot, pressing your heel down toward the mat, stretching out your calf muscle on the right side more, like so. And then go ahead and do the left calf the same way. Nice stretch. Hold that for a bit. And let's go back to both. Press both heels down towards the mat. Stretch out those calf muscles. And when you're ready, go up into a standing position. And roll your shoulders front and back a bit, just to loosen up those shoulder joints and muscles. And do some neck rolls, as long as you can do neck rolls safely without straining or injuring your neck. Go one way, around. We're stretching out those neck muscles. And the other way, reverse direction. Those neck muscles that get all tight for us because we spend too much time staring at screens, staring at phones, computers, televisions. And you can also do this, go side to side and really concentrate on stretching out these neck muscles on the side of your neck that extend down into your shoulders. And by doing this, you can get an extra stretch on those that get tight from all that staring at screens too much or driving too much. That's another thing. So don't drive so much and don't stare at screens so much. Get outdoors and do yoga like we're doing right now. Okay, so good. Now we're going to do a little bit more to stretch out our necks and those shoulder muscles. And we're just going to do the top part of eagle pose. If you're an experienced yoga practitioner and you want to do the whole eagle pose where you're wrapping your leg around, also you can. We're focusing on the neck, so I'm just going to do the top part of the eagle pose here. And so what we do is we take our arms out to the side, and then we do this. Do that a few times. And then go right arm over left like this, grabbing your shoulder blades on opposite sides. And then you're going to wrap your arms around like that. And just do the best you can with that. And you can feel that stretching across your top of your shoulders, stretching that out. To get a deeper stretch there, have your biceps parallel to the ground and then your forearms perpendicular to the ground, and then move your elbows away from your chest to deepen the stretch. See how that works. And as you're doing that, then turn your head to one side and stretch your neck that way, and it will deepen the stretch even more for that side. And hold that for several counts. And listen to the ravens in the background. They're talking to us today. And I'm dressed in their color too. They probably like that. Okay, so stretch the other direction now. Just turn your head the other direction now. And hold that for several counts. All right, so that feels pretty good, stretching out those shoulder and neck muscles, right? So we're going to release now and do a few more of these, and then stop with the opposite arm on top. I did right on top first, now I'm doing left on top. Grab the shoulder blades, and then wrap your forearms around like this again. And do the same thing. Get your shoulders up, or your elbows up. And then to deepen the stretch, move your elbows away from your chest. And then turn your head to one side for several counts. And to deepen this stretch, on the in-breath, you can imagine a string going straight up from the top of your head and pulling up and lengthening your neck and spine. Do that on the in-breath, that's lengthening the stretch, lengthening your neck. And then on the out-breath, turn your head a little further to the side, and that deepens the stretch. So when you're ready, go to the other side again, and do the same thing. In-breath, lengthen the neck. Out-breath, deepen the stretch by turning the head a little bit further. Come back to center, unwind the arms, stretch them up high a little bit, do a few more of these, do a few more shoulder rolls, do a couple more neck rolls. Those neck and shoulder muscles should be a bit little bit more, just get out any kinks that are there. That's good. Okay, so now we're going to get down on our mats again. And we're going to lay down for a moment in resting pose, although we're not done yet. We're just laying down to do the next pose, the next stretch. And right now there's about there's 11 ravens circling above us right now, or maybe 12, 11 or 12. So that's a nice blessing on our yoga practice today. I like that. So anyway, put your left foot on top of just above your knee on your right knee, and then twist and bend your body so that your left knee goes down to your right side onto the floor, or as far as is comfortable for you. You can put your right hand on top of your left knee, as I am doing, to help that stretch. And keep your left shoulder as close to the floor on the other side as possible, so that you get a nice twist in your spine, a nice twisting stretch. And also move your face, your nose, the opposite direction of your bent knee, which would be to the left, and that just helps deepen the stretch. Okay, go back to center, straighten that leg, bend the right leg, put that on top of the left knee. We're just doing the opposite of what we just did. So move the right knee towards the left side of your body, towards the floor. Right arm stretched out on the floor, right shoulder probably won't be on the floor unless you're way more flexible than me, but towards the floor. And then move your nose towards the right, stretching your neck. You're getting your spinal twisting stretch clear from the base, the coccyx, clear up to your skull very nicely. And then go back to center, straighten your body, bend both legs with feet on the floor, arms on both sides. Bring your knees towards your chest, grab the soles of your feet like so, and then you can lift up your head if you want, or leave it on your mat. But straighten your legs and your arms like so. If you can't straighten your legs the whole way, that's fine. Just straighten them as much as you are able to get a good stretch in your legs, the entire back of your legs with this stretch. And also a nice stretch for your lower back and hips as well. And then move your feet out to opposite sides like so. Give a little more stretch. I often get a little crack in my hips, a little release there with this, which is pretty nice. And just hold that for several counts. And then move your feet back to center together and hold that for a few counts. And then back where we started with them slightly apart. And then bend your knees and release. Straighten out your legs. And then grab your hips with your hands and push up a little bit with your elbows and arch your spine like so, the opposite way. This is called fish pose. And that just gives a nice counter stretch to what we just did. And now you can sit up. The next stretch we are going to do, we're going to do a shoulder stand and plow pose. Don't do these unless you know that you can do them safely. You've done them before and you know that you can do them safely. Otherwise, don't attempt it because you could strain your neck and we don't want any neck injuries, so just be careful. So only do this if you know you can do it safely. The shoulder stand and the plow pose. So I'm going to scoot down to the base of my mat so I have plenty of room for this. And so I'm going to go directly up into a shoulder stand, but instead of extending my legs, I'm going to keep them bent and bend the knees down toward my chest so that it stretches out the lower back really nice. That gives you a very nice lower back stretch rather than going straight into shoulder stand. And now I'm going to go up into the full shoulder stand. I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades in. I'm going to push my hands into my lower back like so. Make a nice tripod. And again, don't do this unless you know that you can do it safely, because this does stretch out the neck quite a bit. And so your neck needs to be somewhat flexible to do this. So we'll just hold this inversion pose for a bit. Let all that blood in our feet and our legs drain down into our head for a bit. And we're looking up into a nice, beautiful late afternoon Arizona blue sky, which makes it especially nice. Do yoga outdoors if you can. I mean, if you have nice weather. Otherwise, do it inside. And now we're going to bend at the waist and go into plow pose by extending our arms straight above and moving the feet down to the mat if you're flexible enough to do that. Gives a good stretch to the neck, spine. And to deepen the stretch, you can push your heels away from your head a bit. You can also move your toes a little further away to deepen it. Don't overdo it. We don't want any neck injuries for sure. And now, just slowly come out of that plow pose. Go back to resting pose. Grab your hips again and do that fish pose counter stretch again, like so. Moving your top of the head to the mat. It's just a nice counter stretch to stretch our spine the opposite way from what we just did in the plow pose. So now, nearing the end of our session, we're just going to do some neck stretches and a jaw stretch before we go into resting pose at the end. So for this neck stretch, take your left hand, put it underneath your head and reach it clear around as you turn your head to the right, and put it on your right cheek like so, and take your right hand and put it on your left cheek and turn your head to the right, and then you can use your hands to deepen that neck stretch. So you're pressing down with the right hand and you're just rotating your head gently with your left hand so that you're turning your head to the side and stretching your neck. And again, don't overdo it, but just get a good stretch to your neck that way. And then when you're ready, do the opposite side. So now I'm going to turn my head the opposite way. My right hand underneath my head, my left cheek, and my left hand on top of the right cheek, like so. And twist my head this direction and stretch out the neck a bit more. And with this one, it might work better rather than grabbing your cheeks, just grabbing the sides of your head. Okay, come back to the center and just kind of rock your head side to side to kind of loosen that up and integrate that stretch. You can press down into the mat with your head a little bit. That helps. And then just take your fingertips here and massage those trapezius muscles across the tops of your shoulder and your neck right here. Just get in there and rub them and dig into them and massage them and loosen them up a little bit. And then go up both sides of your neck like that. Right up into the base of your skull. Massage that a little bit. Take your middle fingers and press them right into that notch in the middle of the base of your skull there, and just press on it. Allow your head to press into your fingers and just rock back and forth a little bit. Get that massage a little bit. And then rub your skull a little bit if that works for you. Take your palms and massage from the middle of your forehead out across your forehead, just massaging it really good. Then massage the sides of your head and your temple down into your jaw muscles. And then finally here, I'm going to take my right hand like this, and I'm going to press the outside of my index finger into the cleft of my chin, and I'm going to hold the other hand on top, and I'm going to open my mouth as far as I can and stretch out my jaw muscles and use my hands like that to press down on my chin and stretch out my jaw muscles even more. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to talk during that, and we're going to hold that for about 30 seconds like so. put your arms down at your sides like so, and take a few moments in resting pose. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in, out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more relaxed breath. And when you're ready, bring your soles of your feet to the floor, bend your knees, roll to the side, take a moment, and then when you're ready, come up into a cross-legged sitting position like so. Palms up. Take a couple of deep breaths. Admire the sunset. And that concludes our yoga session for today. Thank you for joining me.